Hello and welcome to Sorta Professional. I'm Matt.
I'm Rich.
And we're just going to get right into our usual rambling talk.
Yeah, because it's the fifth week of the month.
Yeah, and
It's like Bizarro week.
nothing worthwhile came out that I read. I don't want to say it like that. That was the wrong way to say that.
Yeah, you made it sound like there was just crap on the
It
shelf.
wasn't crap. I mean, Red Hood was
The
good.
red was good?
Yeah, Red Hood was good.
Yes, it was.
I read the Black Racer Jack Kirby special that came out.
They tried to get me to buy that, and I was like, nah.
It was interesting. I didn't realize. I never really got into the history of the New Gods, so I never knew what they looked like before a lot of the revamping was done.
My whole history of the New Gods is Justice League Unlimited.
That's it?
Yep, that was the first time I found out who a Forager was and all those guys.
That's all you know. Well, I wanted to talk about comic book news websites again.
I feel like we've done this before, but nobody's heard it.
I'm sure I've brought them up on multiple episodes before this.
And even there's a few of ours that went into the multiverse.
Yep, they've just disappeared. Apparently, according to these news with quotation,
You've turned into President Trump with this comic book news sites.
I hate these places.
Fake news.
I hate these places. Oh, Ben Affleck may be in trouble again in the Batman. Like, you just reported on this last week. We're wrong.
And then reported again.
And now you're saying it again. At this point, the only reason you're doing it is so that if God forbid it does happen, you can say, "Oh, see, we told you."
Called it.
Yeah, exactly.
Nailed it. They're like Duff Man from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
He always comes in and right after something bad happens, he goes, "Oh yeah!" That's how he is. I love Duff Man. I know you've erased The Simpsons from your memory.
I've not erased all of The Simpsons. I told you, one of the lines that I remember is
Duff
the
Man.
Duff Man line.
Duff Man can't breathe.
Yep. I found that hilarious when I was a kid.
Did you ever watch the episode where he quit being Duff Man and he went to work at Starbucks?
No, that sounds like a newer episode.
And Homer became Duff Man for a little while, and it was so rigorous that Homer wanted to quit. The only way they let him quit is if he got Duff Man back.
Yeah.
And he had like a regular, normal voice.
That must have been strange.
It was funny. It was one of the few mid-season between 18 and 22 where they had that weird period where there was nothing funny on the show at all except for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those shows that was funny. Just like when Bart becomes friends with Fat Tony's son in school.
I seem to remember vaguely that episode.
That was a funny episode, too. I'm happy they're finally re-releasing them on DVD. They stopped after season 17.
Really?
Yep. When they wanted to force everybody to buy FX, and it didn't work.
Oh, okay. Just release them on DVD.
Now they are. And they're starting with the worst season ever, 18. But I'll buy it, because I want to have them all. So that when I die, I always say when I die and I give them to my kids, but that's not going to happen. So when I die and whoever the hell I leave all my shit to, they'll have a complete run of The Simpsons.
It's one of the few things I dislike about shows running that long, is that if I want to buy the sets, that's a lot of money I'm putting down.
Well, if you think about it, even with all the superhero cartoons, we put a lot of money into those too.
I at one point had the entire Batman animated series.
I still do.
I think,
and I'd buy them again if they released them on Blu-ray.
I think they got screwed up by a flood in our basement.
Let's not talk about floods because there's a hurricane coming. Yeah, your house didn't have the siding ripped off in the last one.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I saw it. There was siding missing from my house. But we weren't on the news as much as Houston is because we don't supply the United States with gas.
And yeah,
we had a lot of damage last year from the hurricane, and I don't remember being on TV that much other than local TV.
I wasn't really paying attention to the TV much
because we couldn't because there was no electric.
Exactly.
I remember the next day I went out, and it was like an episode of The Walking Dead. Like, I was driving around, and there's just people wandering around with gas cans in their hands, trying to find places to get gas.
I got lucky. I went out with my father. We were trying to look to see if there were any gas stations open. And it just so happened that we were in... we just turned the corner and just passed by a gas station, and I don't even know why, but I happened to look in the rearview mirror, and I saw that the lights had turned on there. So I said, turn around now, go there. In 5 minutes, that place was packed.
I just remember my mom was like, we should fill up the cars and the gas cans just in case. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I did, because I had a little piece of shit generator, and if I didn't have my coffee, man, I'd have been running through this town like Negan.
Yeah, I was plugging lights into it so that I could read.
My generator doesn't work now, though, for some reason.
No?
It was like one of those little piece of shit ones you buy at Walmart that you know is not going to last more than a year.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hope that there's no hurricanes this year.
We have one of those emergency things that you put in your car if you ever need a quick jump start or something like that. So we had that on the dining room table, charging up all our phones on it.
Yeah, that was the worst.
Yeah.
I had cell phones, and then I plugged the refrigerator into it, and the thing was like jumping around outside because it was overloaded.
Yeah, thankfully we have our big generator for the refrigerator.
I found out you can make bacon and eggs on the barbecue, though.
Doesn't surprise me.
Eggs are hard to do on a barbecue.
I would think so.
But I did it.
I would imagine you should throw on some tinfoil or something first.
That didn't work.
No?
What I had to do is I had to use a cast iron skillet, and I had to keep the handle out because if you put the handle in, it would melt, and I had to keep the grill closed, so it took like 25 minutes to make scrambled eggs, but we got scrambled eggs.
That's one way to do it?
Yeah. Because it wasn't enough heat with the tinfoil.
No?
It was weird, yeah. It would just run off because it's liquid. So if I made a bowl, it would just run out. What if there was a hole in the tinfoil?
Even if you heated it up first?
How was I going to heat it up first? There's no electric.
You have a grill.
Yeah, and if I made a tinfoil bowl to put it in, say.
Right.
Tinfoil, when you move it around too much, it rips. And then there were eggs just leaking out the bottom.
I didn't know that you were doing scrambled eggs.
Regular eggs would have been, yeah.
I thought you were laying it out flat.
No, we made scrambled eggs because we gave the neighbors, which I'd probably never do again. Next time, they're on their own.
Yeah. Next time they can get their own goddamn food.
Yep. They have grills. They can make them themselves. Yep. Oh. So I got this in this is a Harley cup, by the way, in the Halloween section at Walmart.
Really?
I went this morning to go look at, as I called it, Farce Friday, because there was no product out. And this was just sitting there, and I was like, well, you're coming home with me. I don't know what my neighbor must be mowing his lawn. Or my lawn.
I don't hear it. Maybe it's because I have the headphones on.
Yeah, it sounds like the weed whacker's coming through the windows at you.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, can't hear it.
But yeah, $5.
Nice.
They have a Batman and a Deadpool one, too.
Oh. I'm not going for that Batman one.
And Chucky. I buried all those in the back of the shelf.
So you're not a big fan of Chucky, are you?
And Jack Skellington. That's the other one they had.
It's a strange Halloween section.
It looks like stuff they got early, so they just put it on a shelf because there was nowhere to put it. And they didn't have any Star Wars product, so... You and Rob don't do that kind of stuff, do you?
Sorry, adjusting the mic real quick here. Hopefully. That should work a little bit better for me.
You guys don't go out figure hunting for Force Friday. Even though I don't buy them, I just wanted to see them.
No. I tend to know if there's a figure coming out that I want. And then I say, hey, I'm not getting that because it's a lot of money.
That's pretty much what I do now. I just don't think they're worth the money anymore now. They've gotten to the point now where the paint details and what you get in the box don't equal the value that I'm paying.
Yeah.
Except for Marvel Legends. Get hands, heads, weapons.
Is that what the Jessica Joneses that I saw?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen The Defenders?
Yes.
How is it?
I liked it.
Yeah?
I even liked Jessica Jones, and I didn't like her show. She was more of an asshole in it and more likable somehow.
I keep meaning to watch Jessica Jones. Although, maybe I should just find... Because the only reason I want to see it is David Tennant. I should just
He's
find
excellent,
something on YouTube where they take all the David Tennant scenes and put them together.
You'd be watching the whole series. He's in every episode. Except, I think, one.
The only one that I've actually seen any of is Luke Cage.
I'm sorry.
And I couldn't stand it. That first episode.
Daredevil's good. You should watch Daredevil.
That's what I'm told. I don't like Daredevil. I never liked Daredevil.
I don't like Daredevil either, and I watched both seasons. I'm willing to give it a chance. Unlike you, who doubts Gotham before you even watched it.
No, I doubted it after I watched it.
That costume's not that bad.
That looks pretty bad.
It's supposed to. Batman looked bad in his first years doing it.
Not with a stupid-ass mask like that.
No, he had a stupid-ass burglar mask.
Exactly. Why not use that?
Because they wanted to go different.
They figure, hey, Bruce has money. He can afford something
I guess in case...
better quality.
The Alfred that's in that show wouldn't let him, being he knows that he's going out to be a vigilante in the show, wouldn't let him leave with a burglar mask on. Just the way that Alfred is. Like I said, if you watch the show, you would look at it and gone, yeah, that's a little overprotective right there. It looked like, though, that they put the Michael Keaton mask on with no ears on him without resizing it.
Maybe. That could have been what they did.
Ow.
I don't know. It reminds me of Smallville when they started bringing in the costumes to that.
It's, I watched Smallville at times. Like, I was into it in the first couple of seasons, and then they brought in Aquaman, and he looked ridiculous, so I didn't watch it. And then they brought in Zatanna, and she was really hot, so I started watching it again. But Gotham is very consistent. It's not great. It's not great TV. But it's enjoyable.
I don't watch a lot of TV, period.
They might lose me now this season because Professor Pig is going to be in it.
Hey.
And I hate him. Even in Arkham, I was glad you beat the crap out of him, and that's it. In the Arkham games.
Like I said, I don't watch a lot of TV. The TV I do watch, I'm very selective about.
Well, so am I. It's either wrestling or comic book themed.
Like I used to watch Supernatural every week. I don't anymore.
I never got into that.
I'll just binge a lot of episodes.
I'm very upset that
finally over.
Supergirl and Riverdale are going to cross over. I don't, because it's on CW apparently.
So what?
She's going to go to their universe.
The Vampire Diaries and Supernatural were both on the CW. I never saw the Winchesters from Supernatural go and kill all those characters on the Vampire Diaries.
Their ratings are better probably than Riverdale.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Even though Riverdale apparently gets high ratings.
Last I checked, Supernatural and The Flash were the two highest rated shows on the CW.
Well, Supergirl would be better if last season wasn't relationship season.
That's the problem with the CW in general. That tends to be what all their shows devolve into.
It was good on CBS, and then...
Hey, the first season of Arrow was good.
If you say so.
The first season of The Flash was good.
I like Stephen Amell as a person. I just think his acting is horrible.
That's CW again.
I didn't find him that great in a Turtle movie either.
There's not... I'm trying to think of a good actor on the CW right now.
Melissa Benoist.
You sure about that?
Mm-hmm. I might be blinded by her looks.
I think you're blinded by her looks.
And now she's single.
She's not terrible by any stretch of
and now she's
imagination,
single,
she's
so
not.
makes it even more desirable.
She's not great. She's not even good. She's serviceable for what she needs to do. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I don't talk about the pretty consistent bad acting from Jared Padalecki on Supernatural, who every time he cries looks like he's trying to take a shit.
That's how I feel about The Flash. Every time I watch it, everything's so cringeworthy that I just can't watch it.
Who was it? Honest Trailers on YouTube did an honest trailer for The Flash,
Mm-hmm.
and now I can't watch it without noticing that Barry is constantly bobbing his head.
Yes, it's called the X-Men Bob.
Is that what it is?
That's where it first started, because when Fox animated those shows originally in the 90s, there was a footnote. I wish I still had the picture. I had saved on my old IBM computer, where there was a footnote on the scripts for the animators that told them that the characters can't be standing still.
Yeah.
That's why Cyclops was always bobbing his head, or Gambit had a hand motion that really didn't go with what he was saying.
You looked like you were about to start doing the Macarena.
I could do the Macarena.
Most people can do the Macarena.
I hate the Macarena.
So do I.
There was that train song too that was popular for like a week. Come on, ride the train. The choo-choo's got it. Doot, doot.
I don't know.
Played it at the block parties for all through the 90s.
I don't know. The Electric Slide. Is that it?
Oh, there's another one. Boogie Woogie Woogie.
Yeah, that's it.
It's electric. And then they put a Pikachu song to that.
It's funny because I felt less stupid doing that than the Macarena.
Well, whoa. You've actually done the electric slide?
When I was in junior high, one of the days of gym was... Actually, it was a week of gym classes where we did that bullshit. We would do the electric slide, we would do the Macarena, we would do the chicken fucking dance.
Is that what they called it too?
Yeah.
On the syllabus, it said the chicken fucking dance?
Chicken fucking dance, yeah. Oh shit, what was the other one? Square dancing.
No hokey pokey day, huh?
I don't remember doing the hokey pokey, but I might have just blocked out a traumatic memory.
So I made the mistake of watching Rick and Morty the other day.
I only hear good things about that show, so I don't know.
It was funny, but I'm not sure it was like funny enough for me to keep watching. It was the pickle episode, and my friend's like, "You have to watch it. It's hilarious."
I have heard of Pickle Rick.
The premise that he becomes Pickle Rick is funny because he doesn't want to go to family counseling, so he turns himself into a pickle. But then when he becomes a Rambo Frankenpickle, I was like, I don't know. The only thing I found funny is a rat bites him, and he cauterizes the wound with a pickle from a sandwich and some ketchup.
Okay. All right, sure.
That was the only thing I was like, that's pretty smart.
Dan Harmon is one of the guys who works on that show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing. He has a podcast.
Yes.
And I've just been hearing clips from it. Maybe it's just what I'm hearing, but he seems like one of those get off my lawn type of guys.
Yeah, like me. That's why I think that's why I think I was like, oh, I could watch this show because I was the same way about regular show.
But he did the Community. He did the Community, didn't he?
Yes.
I thought that was a funny show.
I never got into it.
Yeah.
I was an Office guy, and to me, the Community was just a.
See, I could never get into The Office.
I was a huge Steve Carell guy, so 40-Year-Old Virgin was my introduction to him. So.
I think the only one of his movies that I've watched all the way through is Crazy Stupid Love.
Never seen the 40-Year-Old Virgin?
I've seen the 40-Year-Old.
That's like.
Just not all of it.
That's like 80% of the nerd community's life.
Those Judd Apatow movies do nothing for me.
I didn't even know what a Judd Apatow was until recently.
Really?
Yep. Told you, like when you asked me who wrote the, I'm going to just piss you off here, the Dark Seed special. I don't focus on that stuff. I focus on what it's about or who's in it.
I focus on that so that I know what is I might be getting going into a movie.
Yeah.
That's like those Medea movies.
I've never seen one of those.
And I know not to go see one of his movies.
He was good, surprisingly, in Turtles 2, Out of the Shadow.
Did not watch it.
I did not know it was him, though, until recently.
Didn't I tell you that?
You might have, but I might have not put it together that was also Medea.
Yeah.
I find Medea in general funny, like when I watch clips, but I find the character irritating at the same time.
I found her funny when she was in Big Mama's house, too.
Was she?
No.
No.
It's a guy dressed up as a...
Wait. First of all, there was a Big Mama's house, too?
Of course there's a Big Mama's house, too, but I'm talking when I...
But I like Big Mama's
I
House.
wasn't saying I found her funny in Big Mama's House 2. As in, I also found her funny in Big Mama's House.
But now I'm confused. All right. I understand what you were saying. I took it as number 2 instead of 2. Oh.
Yeah.
But there's a Big Mama's House 2?
Yes.
Get out of here.
I can't remember. It had a subtitle, but I can't remember what it was.
You know what I used to call that when I was younger? Black Mrs. Doubtfire.
Same basic premise, I guess. A guy dresses up as a woman to do something, but after that, it kind of completely different.
My friends would be like, "Oh, you want to come watch Black Mrs. Doubtfire?" That's what I used to call it.
That was a good movie, Mrs. Doubtfire.
There was going to be a sequel, but he's dead now.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Don't think it'd be quite the same, Rich.
I think it would be even better.
I don't know about that.
Nah, nobody's better than Robin Williams.
No.
But Mrs. Doubtfire is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not one of those lists of things you might not know about Robin Williams.
We never know if those are true, though, because he's dead.
Well, I know that more often than not, they're things that I know.
Things that you know. Big shot.
Like, hey, did you know... And maybe I only know this because I was watching both of them at around the same time. But Robin Williams was on an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
And his hair was blonde.
Yes.
And that was because he was in 1 Hour Photo. He had been filming 1 Hour Photo at the time.
Yes.
I knew that.
I'm a huge Whose Line fan. So it's just like all those Nashville people out there. Like my mom was watching. We were just watching an episode. And Charles Eston was Chip on Whose Line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And she's sitting there last night and she's like, he looks really familiar. And I'm waiting for her to put it. She's like, that's the guy from Nashville. I'm like, yeah, now he's just called Charles Eston.
Took me a while to get used to the new episodes.
I miss Drew because Ryan used to make Drew giggle with the littlest shit.
Yeah.
And Aisha's good, but she doesn't lose it as much as Drew did.
I've noticed the only two that can make her laugh on a consistent basis are Ryan and Colin.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I don't like about the way they're running the show now.
Well, there's also, we're in a different age now as well.
I think the game is run too short.
That's because they edit the hell out of that thing. Because we can't say anything on TV anymore. I used to like
I wish Aisha would get a little bit more involved.
She does now on every episode. I want them to bring Drew back just for one episode.
That would be interesting. Who was it that said, Drew never got angry like this?
Wayne says that to her all the time.
I can't remember.
I love that show, though. Like, whenever I'm down, we watch it.
Jeff Davis, that was the guy's name.
I love him, too. He licked all her buttons on the new episode. That sounded really dirty.
A little bit.
Licked all her buttons.
I always liked Greg Proops.
I didn't realize he's the pod racer announcer in Star Wars.
I didn't know that.
Ooh. Ah.
That's what the video was. Things you might not know about Whose Line Is It Anyway? And that was one thing I didn't know.
Steve Carell was on that show, too, for an episode.
Yeah. So was Stephen Colbert.
Yep. He was funny.
Yeah.
He was one of the few times he made me laugh.
I'm trying to... A lot of people have been on that show. Kathy Griffin was on a bunch of episodes of it.
I don't find Kathy Griffin funny in anything but her looks.
I want to say Margaret Cho was on an episode.
She was.
And didn't make me laugh.
Right now they have a lot of CW people on.
Well, they bring them on as like a guest for a game. Stand there.
Chris Jericho was on there. A lot of wrestlers have been on it.
Yeah. That's another thing. They have too many guest stars.
Well, that's just to bring in other viewers. The best episodes are the ones where they don't bring them in.
Yeah, because they're not taking up time.
This really is a Seinfeld episode of our show. It's a show about nothing.
Yeah, Absolutely. This has been a slow week as far as I'm concerned.
I think we're doing pretty well, though. I mean, we were talking about crap. Like, just crap.
Yeah.
Like, stuff that you just normally, you went out and bought a bag of oranges yesterday. No, I don't think I've ever bought a bag of oranges.
I usually buy them individually.
Some people do buy bags.
Like, hey, I want an orange. I'm going to eat an orange. Well, the problem is if I buy a bag of something, I'm not going to eat all of them.
It's funny. I know the word is orange, but I still say orange. Just like I know it's... Is it Mario?
Yes.
I say Mario.
Actually, I don't know.
Because I always remember listening to the commercial and the guy sounded like he said Super Mario Brothers. But I was wrong. I went back and listened to the 80s and they say Super Mario. I don't know where I got Mario from.
I don't know.
Maybe because Mario Lopez was in Saved by the Bell and that's how they say it.
Maybe. Could be.
Saved by the Bell was a good show.
Okay.
Don't you wish you could be like Zach Morris?
No.
Like in the middle of your day, if you have pissed off, you go, time out, and everybody freezes. I'd leave everybody like that, though. Go make a sandwich.
Was that all he was able to do?
No, he had a lot of cool stuff. He had a cell phone before, like, cell phones were even portable.
Yeah. Dude, did he carry it around in a briefcase?
No, he had it in his pocket, which was even funnier.
Oh, okay.
That giant, like, Paul Heyman-esque cell phone in his pocket. Now the show wouldn't work because the cell phone would fit in his pocket and it wouldn't be
funny.
And nerds are cool, so Screech wouldn't be funny. And Slater would be a bully.
I don't think Screech was funny to begin with. So
Back then he was, because he was like 90% of the people I hung around with.
Yeah?
Yeah. There are a lot of Screeches in my life.
Can't say I knew a Screech in my life.
Maybe you were the Screech.
Don't think so.
Maybe Rob was the Screech.
I was more well-liked than Rob.
Screech was well-liked.
But that's just because Rob was always angry.
That's where I learned the one chess player's name. The Spassky Bishop block that he uses to beat the Russian guy. That's the one chess name that I know.
I know none of them.
Now you know one.
I'll forget it in 5 minutes.
I won't let you. You should that's the name of this episode. The Spassky Bishop block.
You're going to have to write that down for me.
Just type it in. It comes up on Google.
Spassky Bishop block.
If we ever get an episode up.
I gotta write that down somewhere so I don't forget it.
I'll text it to you.
Yeah, do that.
I'll look it up after we're done recording.
Alright.
So what other fake news you want to talk about? Because we really spiraled out of control there.
Yeah, we did. How about the fake news that I just saw today? That is already being called fake news. Is apparently there's a rumor, or a report that WB is looking at Leonardo DiCaprio to be in the Joker origin movie.
I'm going to go right back to my Simpson references, and I'll do a Nelson month. That's how I felt about that when I read it, when Martin gives him the invitation.
Like, listen, I'm sure WB wouldn't say no if Leonardo DiCaprio came up and said, hey, I want to do it.
Just last week, they were reporting that Karen Gillian wants to play the Joker.
Karen Gillian?
The one who played Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
And then that story disappeared.
Amy Pond.
Amy Pond?
Pond.
Who the hell is Amy Pond?
She was a companion in Doctor Who.
Isn't her name Karen Gillian?
Yes.
Okay.
I just forgot that because every time I see her, I say, oh, Amy Pond.
I wouldn't know what that is. To me, it really is Doctor Who with a question mark. People think I'm nuts.
Oh, I forgot her name. I was gonna jokingly say the next Doctor's name, and I can't remember what it was.
I know a lot of people are mad.
Jodie Whittaker. That's it.
I don't know why people are mad.
They're not. People aren't mad.
Some people are mad.
I'm sure there are like 5 mad people, and the rest of it is going. Is people going? Why is everybody so mad about this?
There's more than 5 because I know at least 6. I don't know why they're mad because I don't get it, but
like
it's kind of like how all of a sudden now people are quitting movies because of whitewashing and.
Listen, it's an established fact. I don't want to get too much into Doctor Who talk because you don't watch it. But
you just don't talk. I talk about wrestling.
It's an established fact that Time Lords, which is the race of alien that the Doctor is, can regenerate into other genders.
There's only 2 genders as far as I'm aware
it's
of.
Happened to... who knows what aliens have?
You know, this is the second time I'm having this conversation this week.
But...
about alien junk.
It's happened before. It happened to the Master. The doctor.
Who's the Master? Is he the bad guy?
He is the doctor. He's not the bad guy, but he's the Doctor's arch nemesis. Excuse me, because her most recent incarnation was a woman.
Wasn't there a Blueberry Man or a Candy Man or something?
There was a blue guy.
He had little pimples all over his face. I know. I drew a picture of him.
I'm trying to think of who you're talking about, but I can't.
You know who I'm talking about, though, right?
No.
I'll have to look through my old artwork from about 10 years ago, and I'll show it to you.
Because I'm not prepared to talk Doctor Who right now. That's a completely different mindset than comic book.
What?
Yeah, it is.
Just flip the switch like I do.
Can't flip the switch.
Why not?
Because it takes time. Because I have to dig through memories and shit in my head.
You need to fire your memory bank people.
I do. They've really been
Mine are
off on me.
the only thing I'm not good with is names. And if a microphone wasn't on, I'd know the names right away.
Usually, yeah. It's a good practice to wait 5 minutes after asking me about somebody for me to give you their name.
I pretty much generally do that with everything with you.
Because I have to stop thinking about it. And then it'll come.
It's kind of like looking for a relationship. When you stop thinking about it, then one shows up.
Whoever said if you build it, they will come was fucking lying.
What is that from? That's from a baseball movie,
It's
right?
from Field of Dreams.
I hate the name of that movie.
I've seen maybe 10 minutes of that movie.
I've seen none. My classic movie library, to me, is not the classic movie library that other people would have.
I know.
I just don't like that kind of stuff.
You haven't seen Jaws?
Still haven't seen it. No.
Yeah. So.
I don't even know who the characters are. So, if someone were to bring it up.
The important character is Jaws. He's the shark.
He's the shark, okay. And then there's some captain guy, like the SpongeBob captain. And then that's it. Everybody else just gets eaten by the shark, right?
It's kind of like the Godzilla movie. The shark's the coolest part of that movie.
I've never seen the Godzilla movies either.
None of them?
Nope.
All right.
I don't know who Lotus or some mecha dinosaur man and
Mecha Godzilla?
Yeah. Never seen them. I have seen the King Kong movies, though, and Mighty Joe Young and that stuff.
That's interesting.
My uncle was a big King Kong fan.
I see.
He was a big fan of Godzilla, but I don't like movies that are slow and boring. To me, Godzilla was slow and boring.
Well, there have been 20 Godzilla movies at this point.
Mm-hmm. Not one of them has impressed me. I'd rather watch Congo.
Okay. I don't know why.
I know.
Slow and boring.
Well, Congo has a two-part thing for me. It's the first time I hung around with my friends who are still my friends now. And I don't know why, but you know the part in the movie where Tim Curry goes, "We are watching you." Mm-hmm. It stuck with me for my entire life. Don't know why, but it just does.
Speaking of Tim Curry, you see the trailer for the new movie?
I did. It's creepy.
Yeah.
I actually might want to see it when it's on TV.
Yeah. I don't know that I'm still sold on the new Pennywise.
Is that the guy from Gotham playing Pennywise? The guy that plays Jerome?
No. I can't remember. He's related to this. Well, he's one of the Skarsgård brothers.
Oh.
I can't remember his first name, though.
He's creepy. He scared the hell out of me.
Yeah?
Yeah. Tim Curry scared the hell out of me with that role. And I've never seen that movie. I've only seen parts of it, like where the kid gets pulled into the sewer. Yeah. And they cut that out, though, didn't they, in the new one or something like that? Or
I doubt it.
I thought I saw some kind of news, but I don't know what to believe anymore when I read stuff on the internet because most of it seems to be fake.
I mean, if you read the book, that's one of, to me, 2 scary scenes in the book. So
I often wonder when I walk my dog and she's looking in the sewer, if that's why she doesn't like it, because she hates those sewers. I usually tell everybody that the Ninja Turtles are in the sewer.
There's a dog speaking to her from down there saying, "We all float down here, Shay."
I was more scared by Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Really?
For years, I wouldn't open the hamper in the bathroom
Okay.
without being off to the side, because you know when the guy opens it,
Yeah.
and or when he lifts up the toilet lid, and I had to check all that before I did any of my stuff.
My brother was watching a trailer for a movie yesterday. It's a horror movie coming out, and I watch a lot of short horror movies on YouTube because there's a lot of good ones. But one that I see a lot is a parent is tucking their child in at night, and the child, a boy or girl, is saying, "Can you check under the bed for monsters, please?" Or like the closet or what have you. No, just get to bed. There's nothing there. Everything's fine. No, just please check. Fine, I'll check. But then you're going right to sleep. They look under the bed, and there are kids under there. That's not me. That's something else. And so they go back up, and then they're attacked by the monster.
I don't think you've ever done a voice on this podcast, ever.
I've done voices on this podcast.
That's my gig.
And I have seen that probably 15 times in 15 different short horror movies or films. And that is literally what the trailer for this movie was. It was just one of those. And, like, some fucking imagination, please.
What's left to do? It's kind of like Star Wars. Let me ask you a question with Star Wars. Name one thing in the world that's not like, food or something like stupid that Star Wars hasn't made. One of my licensors pitted this question to me when I was working for them to do artwork.
Now, are we talking officially licensed?
Yes, something that would be officially licensed. So you couldn't say like Star Wars condoms because they wouldn't officially license that.
Oh, well then you've completely screwed up the entire
You
thing.
have something that can be sold tangibly to a family.
Oh, to a family?
Family, kid, adult, teenager, grandmother, single parent, single person like us.
Cable boxes.
What the hell are cable boxes?
The thing a cable
You don't buy a cable box, you rent it.
Maybe.
I don't buy cable boxes, I rent
DVD
them.
players, then. I haven't seen a Star Wars DVD player.
That's true. They do have Star Wars laptops, so I don't know how I would feel about that.
But usually when people buy DVD players, they're not looking to further.
Something that... Alright, let's rephrase this, because this is how it was a job for me.
Now you keep moving the goalposts.
Well, I have to, because you're thinking outside the field and into another sport. Something that people would actually buy. So I wouldn't buy a Star Wars DVD player, because number one, Blu-rays are the way to go.
I'm creating basketball here is what I'm doing.
Yes. Something that would sell, that they would actually produce. They wouldn't produce Star Wars DVD players because they wouldn't sell enough of them. People like you would buy them, or maybe Rob, if they had a Boba Fett one. You know Rob would buy a Boba Fett.
Oh, Rob would definitely buy a Boba Fett.
Okay, Rob would buy Boba Fett anything.
Yeah.
If someone dressed an ugly dog up as Boba Fett, Rob would buy it. Mm-hmm. Kind of like I would buy it if it was dressed like Harley. So, something that's not been done that people would buy. Like, there's nothing you can come up with,
I don't
right?
know, what were we talking about before this?
You said that the horror trailer was just like, sometimes you just run out of things to do.
Well, that's not even what I'm saying, but like this scenario is what these YouTube, and I hate to call them YouTube directors, that's kind of just where they put their shit, but is where these short film directors cut their teeth.
Aspiring film directors.
Then they go on and they do other, I don't want to say original, but more creative short horror films.
Not every movie cannot be a Force Awakens.
Like, what was the one? Who's directing it? Sam Raimi. I want to say Sam Raimi's involved, but I don't think he's directing it.
Like Sam Raimi, Hercules, and Xena. Sam Raimi.
Was he involved with those?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I really didn't know that.
That's the only thing I know him from. Because his brother, right? He has a brother, right?
Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's the same guy. His brother was Joxer the Mighty. And
Yes, he was.
yes, that's Sam Raimi.
But I'm also, like, you know him from Spider-Man.
I know him from Hercules and Xena. I actually, until you said that, didn't remember that he is the one that made those movies.
Evil Dead, Army of Darkness.
Here's a little tiny.
Hell.
Here's a little tiny thing. I've only seen Army of Darkness. I've only seen 3/4 of it because I got bored,
What?
and I've never watched the other ones.
Oh, jeez.
I got to the point where he,
Army of Darkness is completely different than the other two.
with a book, he has to say the words, and they ask him if he knows it.
That
And
is
it's like
hilarious.
Nunto's necktie, and then like some skeleton hand pokes him in the eyes and stuff.
I think those are two different scenes.
But that's all I remember from the movie. And little tiny versions of him crawling up his legs, and that creeped me out. And I was like, "This is stupid."
Good, bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
I don't know. Just those movies didn't appeal to me.
All right. Well, that's like I said. That's it. There's a huge difference between Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. And Evil Dead 2 falls somewhere in the middle. It's a little wacky, but it's also a lot more of a horror movie.
You know what I know Bruce Campbell for? He was Autolycus in Xena.
He was also in Burn Notice.
I never watched Burn Notice. All the USA shows that I watched, never watched it.
I can easily recommend at least the first season. I liked all the other seasons, but I don't know that I would recommend that you binge watch the series or anything like that.
It's kind of like everybody told me that show Psych was good,
Yes.
and I just
For a
did
bit.
not find it. And what's the other show with the guy with the germaphobe?
Monk.
Never cared for that either.
A lot of those series start off strong, but then once the premise wears off, you just kind of go.
Did you see? I don't know what your face made me think of this. You know who Joel Osteen is? The big
Yes.
thing going on with him. Did you see that
Are
one of
you
the?
saying that my face is as punchable as Joel Osteen's?
This is funny. So shut up.
Okay.
So, a news site used a picture of Tim the Toolman Taylor because they thought it was Joel Osteen in their report.
Well, there was a period of time where he had the same hair that Joel Osteen's sporting right now.
I was peed when I saw it. It was so funny. It says Joel Osteen refuses to help rebuild, and it's Tim the Toolman Taylor. I was like, oh man, that was good timing, right when I burped.
I still think that show's funnier than Last Man Standing, and I enjoy Last Man Standing. But
I
thought
hated
Kill
Jill.
Time was better. I didn't. I like Jill.
And Jill got more annoying as the series went on. Kind of like Claire Huxtable did in the Cosby Show. I didn't
Not a
love
big Cosby
Jill.
Show guy.
I didn't love Jill. I liked Vanessa. I didn't like Vanessa when I first started Last Man Standing. But she grew on me.
I was like when Vanessa is blatantly taking the neutral path,
Yeah.
and when she's letting everybody know that she's taking the neutral path.
And then when they brought Chuck in,
Yeah.
show picked up steam then.
I did notice there's characters that they just left by the wayside.
Yeah.
Like their lesbian neighbor.
They were only in like 2
Just
episodes.
gone. Never showed up. Didn't they had a dog at one point? What happened to the dog?
Well, probably went to the same place that the Brady Bunch dog went to. Or the Married with Children dog, except they just brought another dog in.
What happened to they had Jill show up on there? What happened to her character? She's just gone.
Well, her, Al, and I think was it JTT?
Yeah.
They all were just. Well, JTT's was different. He did it because he backed out of doing the series finale of Home Improvement. But the other two, I think they just did it just for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Al's funny on that show. He's what do they call it now? Misogynist?
Yeah, sure.
I always think that sounds like a masseuse.
He's a misogynist. He's
A misogynist.
yeah.
A misogynist.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I fall asleep and then I wake up and that Amanda B lady is on TV.
Samantha Bee.
So, yeah, and her voice just. I sometimes think that's why my ears hurt when I go to bed.
Yeah.
I don't find her funny.
I found her funny on The Daily Show, but then she got
never
her own
watched
show,
that.
and I didn't find her funny.
She's supposed to be. There was a rumor that she was supposed to take over Conan's spot.
Why?
Because apparently Conan's ratings slipped because that format of show wasn't doing well. But now I think he's back, got the ratings back, because when they reported that, people were like, we can't lose Conan.
Yeah. Well, that's like... I watched Conan whenever I could when I was younger.
Me too.
And then they moved him to The Tonight Show. And I knew...
Everybody knew. I think Conan knew.
Because Conan is an acquired taste.
Mm-hmm. Conan works best on a show called Conan.
Yeah, the first time you watch Conan, you're going, what the hell?
Well, I'm impartial to him because he was one of the lead writers to my favorite chunk of The Simpsons. Yeah. I mean, anybody that come up with the monorail song is fine by me.
Well, it's just like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name here. Craig Ferguson.
Yes.
Is another guy who was great. But if you moved him to like The Late Show, he wouldn't have done nearly as well.
Nope.
Because when you're on, what did he have, The Late Show?
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot less pressure and a lot less coverage than...
I don't find Jay Leno or David Letterman funny in any way.
Neither did I. I never found either of them funny.
For years, I thought Jay Leno was the villain on Big Bad Beetleborgs. And do you know that it took 20 years for someone to write that into his show?
Really?
And I had been saying it since the moment that show was on after Power Rangers.
Well, Jay Leno was known for stealing other people's shit. So.
I think, well, then he must have read my memory. Because I was saying it for years.
I'll tell you why I like David Letterman more, and it's because of what you were just mentioning. His voice. Yeah. David Letterman's voice is not nearly as annoying as Jay Leno's always was.
Jay Leno's on Last Man Standing, too.
I know, I saw that. And I hated it. He's
funny with Tim Allen, though. And he was on Home Improvement, too, wasn't he? He's the car...
I think he was on an episode.
He's the mechanic at the car... Remember the guy buys Tim's hot rod, the first one that he does?
Yeah.
Jay Leno's the mechanic at the garage. I remember that specifically.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, the character he plays on Last Man Standing is the same character from Home Improvement.
I don't know.
His name was Joe, and he was a mechanic. Because every now and then they bring up, like, he used to work in a huge car collection garage.
Oh, yeah. I tend to...
When Jay Leno talks, you tend to hear...
Yeah,
That's all I ever hear when Jay Leno talks.
I just tune out. It's like what you hear on Peanuts.
Exactly. I hear that a lot from a lot of people. People just start talking and I'm like zoning off.
Yep.
Ever watch Last Action Hero?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know the part where he has for his ex-wife? I wish I had one of those.
My favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just puts the phone down?
Yep.
That was genius.
It was. It really was.
That movie's not as bad as everybody makes it sound if you look at it as a comedy.
Yeah, well, I loved that movie. I've loved that movie since the first time I saw it, and for years I just saw people shitting all over it.
And now it's a cult favorite.
Exactly. And I hate to be this guy, but I liked it before it was cool to like it.
I just watched Guardians 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
And every time Sylvester Stallone shows up on screen, I totally just vibe out of the movie because he's just playing John Spartan from Demolition Man the whole time. And I'm just like, why is Sylvester Stallone in this movie? Just like when David Hasselhoff shows up.
There's another good movie, by the way.
Demolition Man?
Yeah.
That is the best movie. I loved it when I first saw it, and I still watch it. Whenever it's on HBO, I watch it.
I think we've talked about Demolition Man before.
That's where the guy's singing the Jolly Green Giant song as a major song in the Taco Bell. I wake up from being frozen. The guy wants to take me to Taco Bell. That
was a good movie.
Wesley Snipes is great in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping that the new Expendables movie that I keep hearing about, Wesley Snipes is the bad guy in it again, and they make him act like that.
That'd be a nice return to form.
That's the only movie with Wesley Snipes in it that I like.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Blade fan. Wow, Blade just killed the conversation, just like he killed the comic book movies.
I'm trying to think of what my opinion of the Blade movies are. Blade was good.
It was good, but it's not my.
Blade 2 was not. Neither was Blade 3.
Hey,
So.
Triple H was in Blade 3.
So what?
That's how you know it's bad.
Oh,
when they start enlisting wrestlers, you know it's bad.
I'd forgotten Triple H was in that, though.
Just like Kevin Nash is in the Punisher movie. With John Travolta as the bad guy and...
Who's he in that? Who's he in that?
I don't remember the character's name, but I do remember he has blonde hair, and he wears a red and white striped shirt.
Oh, he was the Russian?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I thought that movie was the best Punisher movie.
Thomas Jane, right?
Yep.
He made it. You ever watch the spin-off movie, Laundry Day?
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's good, too. He's I'm doing air quotes here, folks, the Punisher. And he's doing his laundry, and some guy's getting beat up in an alleyway.
Yeah.
And then he just goes all Punisher on them.
Yep. But I thought that was the best one.
He was the best one until I saw the guy in Daredevil from Walking Dead.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Parts of the season are really boring. But
and then there's the Punisher season 0.5.
That looks good. I mean, they've only shown us him making a Punisher symbol with a sledgehammer, but I thought it looked good. I was disappointed that the scene that they showed at Comic-Con wasn't in Defenders. It was a cut from the...
Oh.
They fooled everybody. They fooled me, Jerry. They fooled me.
Every time you bring up Seinfeld, for some reason the line runs through my head. I was in the pool!
That was just odd yesterday.
Was it?
I want that show to come back, even if it's just for one season. If Roseanne can come back, Seinfeld can come back.
Roseanne still can.
Because they proved that Seinfeld could be updated on that Larry David show. They added the cell phones in, and George comes up with the iToilet app. Shows you where the cleanest toilet is in the vicinity of you within 5 miles. And then somebody steals it and he's not rich. They could update it and it still worked.
Okay.
Newman was in it briefly.
Of course he was.
Wayne Knight is the man. When he was reported to be dead, he had the best thing. He posted a picture of himself cooking waffles at his house. He goes, if this is dead, I don't know what living is.
And again, you know, I hear about him, all I hear in my head is,
Do you know, for weeks after that movie came out, I couldn't convince everybody that was the same person.
Really?
Yep. Dennis Nedry and Newman. I always knew that they were the same person. My friend's like, no.
Yeah.
He was great in that movie, too. I used to do that to... My friend had a dog, and the dog didn't like my friend Joe. Both my friends' name are Joe.
Okay.
So, Joe, A, we'll call him, had this huge Rottweiler, and I used to go, stick, stupid! Because my other friend would have to run by, because it literally would try to kill him. As he tried to... Because it knew he was afraid of him. And his dogs were always so nice, but they were mean, like, looking.
Yeah.
You know, we're kind of like Shay. She's cute as a button, but she's got a mean streak in her.
Yep.
And yeah, I used to do the stick stupid. No wonder you're extinct.
It seems like people... Maybe it's because I'm a dog owner, and these other people aren't. But when a dog comes up to them and they get scared because a dog's coming up to them.
I'm more scared when a child comes up to me.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's on that kid.
Exactly.
I always feel like Mr. Burns when Bart goes to touch his $1,000 bill and he goes, nah, you're probably all covered in cookies and dirt. And he shows him his hands and they're all clean. That's how I feel about little kids. But I agree with you. People act stupid with dogs.
Yeah.
My least favorite thing living in the South, people who don't put their dogs on leashes. And then it's my problem that this dog is following me and Shay while we're walking.
When I first get home, I'll let Mandy out without the leash. Because as soon as she's done doing her business, she'll come right back in. Anytime other than that, she's either out on a rope that I have for her, or she's on a leash.
That's fine. Put a dog on a rope. But this dog should not be able to come and sniff my dog's butt, because I can guarantee you that dog's going home with a piece of its face missing. She don't fool around with that. There's no warning bark or growl. It's turn around, snap.
All right.
I tell people that. And my other favorite thing is, oh, my dog likes other dogs. Well, that doesn't mean mine does.
Exactly. Yeah.
You stupid idiot. I had to change it to idiot. I use other words when the microphone is not on.
Family show, kids. It's a fucking family show.
Vulgar words that people would call me a misogynist.
You've been bringing that up a lot this episode.
Because I just heard that word for the first time a couple weeks ago. And it doesn't make sense to me, that word. Like, because all I hear is masseuse. I know that's not in the word, but that's all I hear. And I just I giggle when people say that word. Like titmouse to Homer Simpson. See, even you giggle at titmouse. It just makes me laugh.
Now might be a time to move on to another subject.
You don't like titmouse? I don't even know what a titmouse is.
Is
it a mouse that comes from a tit?
I'm all flustered right now. I have no idea what to say.
Is there another meaning to titmouse that I don't know?
No.
Okay.
I don't know what the first meaning to titmouse is.
What is a titmouse?
Okay, clarify.
I want to know what an actual titmouse is.
Tid. T-I-D?
Yeah. No, tit. T-I-T.
Oh, okay.
Like titties. Boobs. Breasts. Bazongas.
Keep going.
I don't know if I have others, but... Yam bags. No, that's a nut.
Titmouse. You'll never guess what it is.
It's not a mouse, is it?
It's not a mouse at all.
Is it a bird?
It's a bird. The tufted titmouse is a small songbird from North America, a species in the tit and chickadee family.
See, not only do we give laughter, we give knowledge on this show.
You've just been educated, folks. You learn. You learn one new thing a day.
I somehow knew it was going to be a bird when you looked at. I knew it was going to be a mouse. That's too easy.
It's way too easy.
It's a bird. Look at that. We should get some titmice.
Let's not.
Why not release them into the atmosphere?
They
can fight. They can fight with those.
The atmosphere. You're going to space.
We can with those weird night birds that chirp around here.
What are they? I know their names.
Obviously, you don't.
I will after we stop recording.
That's how it goes. Those birds are so irritating. When I first moved here, there was more trees around.
Yeah.
And those things just fucking cowl all night long.
I don't have a problem with them.
I like quiet when I sleep.
I don't.
That's why I didn't like my apartment. Actually, I should say that's why I didn't like my apartment at the end. Because when we first moved into our apartment, they kept all the people with families and young children in another building, and then they started commingling us.
It doesn't do any favors for my electric bill, but I will find a playlist on YouTube and then fall asleep to that, because I can't sleep without something making noise in the background.
Try an ionizer. That's what I have. I can't sleep dead silent.
I'd rather listen to people talking.
Like, I can't sleep dead silent at all. Like, to me, like, the quiet keeps me up. But if I have, like, a fan going, or I get an air ionizer, because the pollen here is, like, fucking death.
Yes.
And so I leave it on in my bedroom. My bedroom's always got that running.
Yeah, for me, it has to be people talking. I've tried music, like low music. Doesn't work. It's got to be people
So if we
talking.
didn't have electric anymore, you'd have to pay two people to come in your bedroom and stand there and talk?
Exactly. I'd be fucked.
You could pay them the jibber jabber. You know what that is?
No, I don't know.
In animation, when you do the voices, sometimes they tell you the jibber jabber is where everybody talks off off on those, so it sounds like a crowd outside.
Oh.
Watch the damn Justice League DVDs. They teach you shit, man.
Oh, so it's like, and you wouldn't know this because this is another show you don't watch, but in South Park they'll have people go rabble, rabble, rabble.
Yeah.
Rabble. Yeah. So, okay.
I know that. I know what you're talking about.
Now I know what that's called, the tufted titmouse.
Actually,
no, wait, that was something else.
I actually posted a South Park clip the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it says, this is me waiting for Game of Thrones Season 8, and it's one where Cartman can't sleep, and he keeps looking at the clock at 2:15, and it's 2:18. It's like, oh.
I think you would like South Park.
It's too much for me to watch now. For me to comfortably...
I don't... Maybe for the last 2 seasons, but before that, it's not like they had an overarching story going on in them.
It's just too much to watch. It's kind of like... if I told someone to start watching The Big Bang Theory now. There's just too many episodes.
Why would you do that to somebody?
Because Big Bang Theory, the first 3 seasons were great.
Yeah. Now they're not.
Well, it's because now it's Friends Jr.
Yeah.
Friends Jr. Speaking of Friends, they had the guy that played Joey on Conan.
Oh, did they?
And he has the best comeback when everybody asks him about the Friends reunion.
Yeah.
When people come up to him in the clubs and wherever he's out, ask him when the Friends reunion, he tells them it happened already. It was on last night. You missed it.
All right.
That's great.
Okay.
That is great. Because that you know that those people are taking that word as the gospel. And they're going home and they're looking for that Friends reunion.
Google, was the Friends reunion last night?
Why would we need a Friends reunion?
I don't know.
I do think we're going to see a Friends something eventually.
Because, you know, Jennifer Aniston isn't really a huge star anymore.
And Courtney Cox to me was never a huge star because she was in that Masters of the Universe movie.
Yeah, she was. Well, Jennifer Aniston was in Leprechaun, so...
Hey! Leprechaun was one of those horror movies that I always liked.
All right, if you say so.
When it got stupid is when he got superpowers. Which was, I think, the 4th one.
He was a leprechaun. I'm pretty sure he had superpowers.
No, but I mean, like, stupid superpowers where he flew and...
Oh, shit, what was the other horror movie?
I know the WWE made a Leprechaun movie, which was absolutely an atrocity to my eyes. The goggles did nothing.
It's like Friday the 13th I never thought was a good series of movies.
Those movies scared me only because the fact that Freddy Krueger come out of your dreams.
No, you're thinking Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay, good.
Friday the 13th is Jason with the hockey mask.
Oh, what's the one with Michael Myers? Is that Halloween?
Yes, that's Halloween.
My friends are at Dragon Con right now.
Yeah?
An escalator broke. And it's kind of funny because there's a guy in cosplay of Michael Myers in the picture. She took a picture of all the people at the top of the escalator, and randomly off to the left is a guy in cosplay looking at the people at the escalator with a knife in his hand. And she's like, I don't know if I should call the police or squee with glee.
I'm surprised. It's got to be a fake knife.
It looked fake in the picture that I saw.
I mean, like, super, super fake.
I guess in the hotel, they don't really check your shit.
Yeah, that's true.
He wasn't in the show yet.
Okay, so he wasn't in the convention center?
I mean, unless they're going to have him walk around a rubber chicken.
That's the next movie.
Is that the one? Or is that Jason? I confuse them all.
That's Jason.
Now, didn't Jason go to space at one point?
Yes, Jason X. Jason went to space.
And didn't he fight Freddy Krueger at one point?
Freddy Krueger.
See, now Freddy Krueger scared me.
Yes.
Because that guy was good at being scary.
The first one and Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
You know what cinched me from the movie scaring me? The Simpsons.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's right.
Where Maggie kills Willie.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, right? You could kill him in the dream. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Because I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, I always thought, you put the blanket over your head, you're safe. and he slices the blanket in that one scene where the girl's got it pulled up, and I was like, shit.
That was the entire basis of one of the movies. Was it? I think it was Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors, and they finally figured out that, hey, these are our dreams. We can fight him. I mean, most of them still got fucked up.
Who won, Freddy or Jason?
It was one of those neither situations.
Oh, kind of like Batman, Superman.
No, wait, excuse me. I believe Jason won.
Because I know you didn't like Batman versus Superman, but I still say Batman won. He had Superman down for the count, and he was going to kill him.
Yeah.
People argue this with me.
Really?
Yeah. They say Batman wouldn't have killed him, so Superman would have won.
Batman was more than ready to kill him.
If and buts were candy and nuts, yeah, you'd be right. But Batman was, like you said, more than ready to drive that spike right through his Kryptonian chest.
Then he had to ruin it by yelling.
I saw a funny meme. It might have been your brother that posted it, but it made me think of you. It says, my father's name was Thomas, and then it's Aquaman. He goes, my father's name is Thomas, too, and Superman and all the superheroes put their palms over there and go, not this again. It made me think of you immediately.
I don't think Rob would have posted that.
I think it might have been Rob.
Really? Because he gets pissy about that Martha thing. Like,
really?
When I bring that up to joke about it, he'll go, oh, you know, fuck you.
What, did he think that was brilliant?
I don't know. He didn't. It's not that he thought it was brilliant, but he thinks that people give it too much shit.
That was probably my least favorite part of that whole fight scene. Because that fight scene was cool.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Actually, there's a lot of cool shit in that movie that is overweighed by Cave Troll Doomsday.
No, I'm sorry. That was actually during the Cave Troll Doomsday thing, is where he very briefly looks like the cover of Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
The whole and the warehouse scene was cool in that movie. There were parts of that movie that are excellent. There are parts of that movie that are terrible. Like the first half hour of that movie is awful.
Well, I think this is what I'll say about Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel, and I don't know how much I can say this about Justice League because of all the stuff that's been happening with the changes and things. But Zack Snyder is. If there's one thing you know you're going to get when you go into his movies, it's a visually interesting movie.
Mm-hmm.
They look good.
I don't even like the way Steppenwolf looks in Justice League for the brief 2 minutes, but I've seen the going off the figure, and we can't really go off the figure because Ares looked really cool in the Wonder Woman figures, and then he turned out to be the ugly guy from Dragonheart.
He wasn't Dragonheart.
Yes, he was the ugly guy in Dragonheart. That's how my friends and I, when we went, and it was a 20 group guys, we all had a general consensus that he was the ugly guy from Dragonheart. And when he appeared in Harry Potter, we texted each other that the ugly guy from Dragonheart is in Harry Potter. And you know what I got when Wonder Woman came out? The ugly guy from Dragonheart was in Wonder Woman.
Hey, there were a lot of Harry Potter fangirls that found him attractive in Harry Potter.
He looked so ugly in Dragonheart because they made him look that way. He had like the He-Man bang hair. Yeah, because, you watch Dragonheart?
Yes.
He had the bang haircut. It was the time. They were trying to make him look like a monk.
And he was also the evil prince.
And his face didn't fit the haircut they gave him. Like sometimes you get a haircut. I got my head shaved. You remember a couple months ago.
He might have looked better if he had a mustache.
And I looked like Curly Moe from the Three Stooges when I had it like that. You agree?
Yes.
So, but it just, he's the ugly guy from Dragonheart, and he'll always be that to me.
He might have looked better in the movie if he had a mustache.
I'm interested to see the new scene of Wonder Woman. I don't buy digital movies. I like to have things in my hand. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay.
I don't know that I understand why that's a thing that they're putting on advertisements for it.
I don't even know what it's about.
Like, we kind of expect there to be deleted scenes.
To me, it sounded like something they wanted to put after the credits, and they were like, shit, we got a pretty good movie here, we don't want to fuck this up, so let's not put this in the theater, and we'll put it on a DVD.
Let's fuck it up after we've made all our money.
We already put the good versions of Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman out after the movie came out. Let's do it the other way this time.
I heard that the version of Suicide Squad that came out wasn't the one the director wanted. No,
it's not. But it's had better parts in it. Yeah. And I like Suicide Squad. You knew that, but I'm very partial to that movie.
I had fun watching Suicide Squad. I think that movie definitely got.
I'm pretty mad that Will Smith's filming schedule is fucking slowing down the sequel.
That's one of the reasons I was never happy about him being cast.
I don't know.
I think when you're doing ensemble movies like that, you either have to nail him down like they have with Robert Downey Jr., or you have to go with somebody who's not.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
His life is the story of Iron Man.
That's why he does so well.
There's no acting for him.
Exactly.
It's his life.
But that's the I guess that's the chance you take when you hire somebody.
I mean, I enjoyed Will Smith in the movie.
I enjoyed him when he wasn't Will Smith.
He wasn't very Will Smithy in that movie. There's a couple of times where, started acting a fool and making trouble in the neighborhood.
when he was on top of the car shooting all those guys, though, that was awesome.
The scene with Diablo makes me laugh too.
Yeah,
when he wants him to get mad and shoot the fire at all the demons. And he's like, I want you to get psyched. I want you to get mad. But he burns everything. Goes, I don't want you to get that mad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to take it that far.
I did think that it kind of fizzled out at the end. Like it got loud and like visually spectacular because it had to.
The ending of that movie reminded me of the ending to Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I actually haven't seen the end of it.
They basically they beat Ronan the Destroyer with a Care Bear stare, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, because he grabs the Infinity Gem, and they all grab on, and they're in a big line, and they shoot this like friendship crap at him, and I started laughing when I saw it, and my friend's like, "What are you laughing at? That was cool." I'm like, "They fucking beat him with a Care Bear stare." I mean, all you needed were the cousins there, and it would have been even more powerful. And the ending to Suicide Squad was like, I love Harley, but for her to be the one to kill, I can't remember the character's name, the Enchantress, I was just like, come on.
Well, she's Harley.
She's done a lot of amazing. That's the other thing. I wish they hadn't changed I know everybody's going to jump on me for the Joker-Harley relationship to make it that he loves her.
Yeah, that's...
Though Paul Dini just changed that relationship as well in the comics.
Did he?
Well, the name of the next book is called Joker Loves Harley. And the whole point of those backup stories was to show us that the Joker actually does love Harley.
Yeah.
But not when he's being the Joker. On his off days, like when he's got nothing better to do, that's when he loves Harley.
So he doesn't really love her then?
I think they play it more like the Joker has two versions of himself. One he shows to her, and then there's the one that we're all used to.
Right.
That's how it's played off. But we don't know the ending yet because she just spent $3 billion to build them a hideout. But I don't know who the girl is. It's just an older character that Paul Dini liked, and she put a bomb in it because Harley couldn't pay. And that's how it ends. And then sometime in November, there's like a whole issue coming out.
All right.
Hope it leads to Paul Dini making more Harley books. Now, I watched Batman and Harley, the animated movie. This is going to surprise a lot of people, but I did not like it. Because I went into it thinking it was a Batman the Animated Series episode, and it's not. It is a Harley Quinn story, like the comic book, the new comic book, and Batman and Nightwing happen to be in it.
It's drawn just like the animated series.
They use the voices, but it's nothing like the animated series.
Yeah.
There's singing and dancing, and Batman drinks a glass of milk, and Harley Quinn farts in the Batmobile, and Batman says it's rank, and I almost turned it off at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I wanted to keep going. The ending made no sense to me in the movie. They build up this big plot that Swamp Thing is going to help them, and he shows up, and he looks down at them, and he goes, I cannot help you, and he disappears. And that's how it ends.
Interesting.
I watched it again, going into it knowing it's not a Batman, and I liked it a little more, but I still didn't like it. It was the first Batman animated movie that they've released that I did not enjoy right at the gate. And this is coming from someone who liked Killing Joke.
Batman and Son?
Batman and Son was good.
Or Son of Batman, I think is what they called it.
I liked that movie because I had no prior knowledge of the story until afterwards.
I think that whoever is doing Damien's voice in that is bad.
The animation took a while for me to get used to in that. Because I'm not used to the anime style with Batman.
But basically, wait for Gotham by Gaslight.
I don't know how much time you have now, but if you wanted to borrow...
Which, by the way, doesn't look like Gotham by Gaslight. It looks like they're taking the general setting and story.
Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. There's a
lot more Catwoman I'm seeing that was in Gotham.
There's a lot... They take a lot of liberties with those anime, because they claim they have to fill in the animation. Now, everybody made a big deal about that Harley Nightwing sex scene. It was 2 minutes at most. And most of it is... all of it is talking.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of humor that was in Batman the Animated Series, with the exception of, Harley bends over and you see her ass, and then she looks down and Dick's got a hard-on. That's it. I don't see the big deal behind it.
Movie?
Yeah. You don't see the hard-on. She just bends over while she's picking out clothes, and he looks away, like he do in the cartoon.
Oh, so that's all that happens?
That's what... Then she says he needs her to go with him because they need her to talk to Ivy, which I don't like Ivy's new voice in it either. And she said she'll only go because he has something she needs, and vice versa. And that's how it ends. And then Batman shows up and they're having a tickle fight. Like 30 minutes later, Batman's looking for Nightwing, and he opens the door, and Nightwing and Harley are having a tickle fight. And Nightwing goes, "Oh, we were just coming." And Batman goes, "Right." And that's the end of it.
That entire thing made me lose some interest in the movie.
If you don't read the Harley Quinn comic,
no, I don't.
It's a lot like the Harley Quinn comic. The music isn't the orchestra music. It's more, I can't even say, like 60s kit bash with new shit. There's one point in the movie that I was going to vomit. They go to a sidekick club, and it's cool. They open the door and Rhino's in there, and Molar and Kerr, and all the sidekicks, like the Farmer Brown's daughter. And then, for some reason, we have to endure the two guys that look like Jimmy Olsen, who were with the Penguin, sing a duet for 5 minutes.
Jeez. And
then, it's not over yet. Harley needs information from Poison Ivy's guy, who doesn't have a voice. They just animated the guy who looks like a piece of broccoli. And she has to sing, it's like a bad Green Day type song. And she dances, and Nightwing dances in the club with everybody, and Batman starts tapping his foot, and Nightwing looks at him, and then Batman looks back, and then Rhino's behind him, and he does the back punch, I guess to make Batman still a badass. But I almost turned it off then, but I wanted to see what happened at the end of the movie.
Listen, we all know that Batman hates rock and roll.
Yeah. I don't think you would get past the fart scene, because the fart scene goes on longer than the sex scene.
You're probably right then. Because during Blazing Saddles, I skipped past the fart scene. So.
I mean, I find farts hilarious, but even at one point during the scene, I was like, just pull over and let her go to the bathroom. This is annoying. That's the whole point of the scene. So she has to go to the bathroom. So if you're a Batman the Animated Series fan, don't watch it. It's not even worth it. My friend Dave, not the one that always listens to it's funny, I have 2 friends named Joe, 2 friends named Dave. That's my 4 friends. So I can never mix them up. He was like, should I even bother? I'm like, nope. He goes, and his son loves Harley. And he's like, can I show it to him? I'm like, nope. Don't even bother. And they actually say at the end of the movie, they do like the thing with Bruce Timm and Paul Dini, that they're not going to involve the Joker in any of her future animated movies. She's beyond the Joker.
Hey, I know some animated movies I'm not going to be watching.
There's another one coming, though. Because they talk about they're making a sequel.
Great.
Provided this one sells, and it did.
For some reason, I want to say I saw somewhere that those movies don't actually make much money.
No. I have them all. Almost all. Missing Superman Brainiac. Because I rented that movie and it was terrible.
Yes,
And I might think that this Batman Harley movie is just as bad as that movie.
I, by the way, did not think that Doomsday was that bad.
No, Doomsday was good. Everybody wants a literal translation of that just like Killing Joke. That Killing Joke movie was not bad. It wasn't great.
There's the difference between that and Doomsday is like the Killing Joke's kind of short. You could get away with doing a literal adaptation of that book. Mm-hmm. Doing like the Death of Superman and the Reign of the Superman
just
and
like
Return of Superman.
Everybody thinks that Superman returning in this Justice League movie is going to be just like the comic. It's not.
No.
Because one, without Booster Gold and Guy Gardner, you lose a lot of that Return of Superman story. Because the other ones that go off to fight with Blue Beetle, Doomsday, and get the absolute shit kicked out of them.
Well, you also don't. Well, you don't have the Eradicator either, who's the one who puts Superman in the regeneration chamber.
Yep.
To steal his energy.
I always found that odd.
All right, sure.
Now he really hates him. Oh, how do you feel about Tomasi and Gleason leaving Superman?
They're not.
They are.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're not.
They are. It says new creative team going forward. Or is that reported wrong?
For 2 issues, and then they're coming back.
Because I was thinking about dropping it.
No, they're.
Because I love Patrick Gleason's artwork.
Oh yeah. No, Yes, he is doing the artwork, but I don't think he's doing it when they return. I think somebody else is doing the artwork.
I just want to know who Mr. Oz is, or Dr. Oz, or
maybe I'm thinking of a different book. Is there another one that they write together?
That's the one they write together, Superman. Okay, Action is a different book, but Tomasi's also involved with that, I think.
No.
No?
Tomasi's not involved with Action.
No, he's Super Sons.
Yes.
I read so many books right now. I think once Doomsday Clock is done,
drop a bunch of them.
I think Action's going to be the first one.
Probably. That's really the whole rebirth thing is the only reason I'm still picking up Action.
Yeah, me too.
It's not bad. But it's not a book that I would have normally gotten.
They better recatch me with Detective too, because that's become a book where I just put in the bin right now.
Well, actually, is the whole Oz Effect thing going to be happening when it hits 1,000?
Should, yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the last number that came.
Because Doomsday Clock runs all next year, doesn't it?
I believe so. But the Oz Effect happens within the next couple months.
Then no, it won't be. I think we're like 15 or 16 issues away.
I'm pretty sure the Oz Effect takes place before... Well, I know it takes place before Doomsday Clock.
Well, Lex Luthor just saw who Oz was at the end of the recent Action.
Yeah, but they didn't reveal it to us.
Of course not. Who do you think it's going to be?
I don't know. I don't want to guess.
Why not?
I don't like guessing.
Take a guess.
If we talk about it too much, I'll probably end up wanting to spoil it for myself.
I don't know who it is either, because I don't want to be spoiled either.
Yeah, so...
I'm going to guess, because I am a guesser.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Jonathan Kent.
You want me to... If I really had to guess, it's Ozymandias.
Do you? Think so?
They're really pushing the Watchmen stuff, so I really think it's going to be...
I think it's just too obvious.
Maybe.
Because it's somebody who personally knows Superman. They have given us that much so far in Action.
I will fully admit I've not been reading.
But it's also somebody who knows Tim. So I'm guessing Jonathan Kent, because he's not... I'm not Jonathan Kent. Superboy. Yeah, Connor Kent.
Yeah.
It's somebody who personally knows Superman, personally, and Lois, and Tim and Bruce.
I don't know, you see...
I just hope they don't drag out this whole Tim breaking out of the prison.
Connor's not smart.
We don't know what's going on. Well, he did have Lex Luthor's brain at one point in his head. That's when he shaved his head, yeah. He had his memories and everything. You might have stopped picking it up by then.
I might have.
But at one point, he was like a mini Lex Luthor for many issues. That's when I stopped reading it.
I remember him being basically mind controlled by Lex.
I'm hoping it's him. That's my guess. I'm going to guess I'm wrong, and it'll be something stupid like Ozymandias. Just like I'm not thrilled with the artwork for Doomsday Clock either.
It's Gary Frank. I've never been a huge fan of Gary Frank. The faces.
Faces, the stiffness. That's very, But maybe they're going for an 80s vibe.
But I know he and Jeff Johns like working together, so...
As long as it's good, I don't care.
I do want... you think they're going to use the 9-panel layout?
Hope not. That annoys the hell out of me.
That was a big thing about Watchmen. It was the 9-panel layout.
That's one of the reasons why I have a hard time reading it. I hated when Eric Larson did it in a couple issues of Savage Dragon.
Yeah.
The 9-panel layout is nice once in a while, but every page.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why I didn't read the Dark Side special because of all the words that were accompanying those panels.
I do have to reread Watchmen before this whole thing really kicks off, though.
I can't stand that story.
What really gets me, and I know they're important parts of the book, is the pirates. I hate those. They're so boring. And I know they're super important to the book.
Excuse me.
But every time I start reading, I'm like, just get back to New York. Please.
You think we're actually going to get a battle between
No.
Dr. Manhattan and Superman? I don't think so either.
Dr. Manhattan is a lot more powerful than Superman is.
I don't think Dr. Manhattan's actually the bad guy here.
Neither do I. I don't.
It's going to be some kind of twist.
I don't want to say he was a hero in Watchmen because he wasn't. But the whole reason he went away at the end was to find a way to reconnect with his humanity.
He wanted to be like Poochie the Rockin' Dog. I just compared Dr. Manhattan to Poochie the Rockin' Dog.
I think the only real... It sounds crazy to say because he was a crazy motherfucker in that book. At the end of the book, the only real hero was Rorschach. Because he's the only one that said, I don't care if this actually does bring the rest of the world together. You killed millions of people. You're a bad person, and people need to know how bad of a person you are.
He needed a Peter Griffin going, no! No!
He gets on the local news. You know what really grinds my gears?
I don't know. I'm kind of ready for this whole rebirth thing to play out a little more.
I'm always a big fan of the long game.
I am too, but I start getting into like some of the side stories, and then we veer off again into another. Like I don't even care now about Catwoman and Batman.
There will come a time when they all start to, I think, come back together.
I think we're getting to that. I think Doomsday Clock will be that turn where we start heading.
Well, Doomsday Clock is the culmination of Rebirth.
Yeah.
So
we'll
it kind
see.
of has to be.
We'll see. They tell us that stuff all the time. But
What the fuck was I going to say?
I don't know.
Love when this happens.
Shay's trying to figure it out for you.
Yeah, she can keep trying. I don't know. I will probably stop recording and remember what I wanted to say and go, fuck, that was really important.
You can always edit it in later.
But, you have anything else?
No, I'm pretty much talked out.
Yes, so am I a little bit here. We're actually at about an hour and a half. Probably closer to an hour 15 once I trim out some of our long pauses. So, I think we're going to say goodbye, folks. It's been fun.
It's like a used condom at a party.
No, I'm not even going to ask.
I always have my best line at the end.
That's where we're going to leave it, folks. Our show is like a used condom at a party.
Yep.
I'm Matt.
I'm Rich.
And this has been Sorta Professional. See y'all next week. Bye.